Why do 90% of hackers swear by CounterSurveil? Let's dive in and find out. In the labyrinthine world of cyberspace, every click leaves a trace. But with CounterSurveil, you become the unseen. Our podcast takes you deep into the heart of hacking, where firewalls crumble and secrets unravel. From white hat heroes to shadowy code warriors, we cover the spectrum. Join us on Iron Geek, your portal to mastering the art of stealth and strategy. Discover the tools, the tricks, and the tales that define the modern hacker. Tune in and transform from a curious novice into a digital legend. This is CounterSurveil. Unmask the unknown.
Tune into the sound waves, secrets of the dark maze, dark codes in the nighttime, information no lines. We're free in the spotlight, chatting through the late night. Smart contracts are lying, auditing, they're defying. CounterSurveil in my ear, security we engineer. Learn the truth, don't disappear. CounterSurveil, we're right here. Crypto dreams and data streams. Listen close, it's closer than it seems. Fix the flaws, see through the smog. CounterSurveil, join the blog.
Hello and welcome to the CounterSurveil podcast. I'm Havoc, your host, without Sledge, who will be here very, very shortly. Don't you worry. And we got a lot of stuff to cover this week, so I popped it up in a nice little mind map so you can see what the hell we're going to be talking about. But the first thing is this DOGE article that came out. So this was written up by several different people. And if we go over to Zach's security, This Week in Security, what's he call that, a newsletter, we can see a pretty good overall write-up for it. So let me share my tab here so you can follow along with me. So we start this week with an absolute belter reporting from NPR's Jenna McLaughlin on a whistleblower report from within the IT department of the National Labor Relations Board, who provided revelations about DOGE's activity at the agency to federal congressional investigators. The blurb here isn't just going to do the story justice. You got to read this one. Ultimately, this is a story about a DOGE. DOGE is an insider threat, not just an agency that has gobs of data capable of holding powerful billionaires accountable for their often terrible actions. A big charge is that DOGE exfiltrated sensitive data from the agency for reasons yet unclear, while disabling logs, designing backdoors, and potentially exposing attempts by Russian-based IP addresses to log into their systems. While it's not clear yet where the exfiltrated data went or who has access to it, from a workers' rights perspective, the threat is immediate and existential. Meanwhile, remaining staff at the U.S. Digital Defense Service, which builds fast tech fixes inside the Pentagon, plan to resign this month in mass, effectively shutting down the decades-long program. Now, going into the actual article itself, there are some spicy details here. So the first one, no, I'm not going to donate. Being this whole drone thing, so if I control F this article for drone, it's not even in here. Alrighty, so we got that they ignored security practices. One article I read about this said they not only taped a note to a whistleblower's door, but also included footage of him from a drone taken above his house while he's walking his dog. This looks like some attempts at intimidation here. Not great, not wonderful, but we'll see where it goes. And if it does in fact turn out to be true, this could be a real nail in the coffin for DOGE. I mean, this is just crazy this is happening. And I really wish Sledge was here so I could bounce it off of him. So getting back to our mind map here. So the whistleblower claims internal sabotage. Logs were disabled, backdoors created, sensitive data was exfiltrated. a Russian IP address logged into the system, and the whistleblower was intimidated with drone surveillance footage being taped to their front door. Next up, we've got this CVE database funding crisis. Now, y'all know the CVE database is used by pretty much everybody in InfoSec. It is how we assign those 9.8 CVSS scores to stuff. It's important. It is a really good metric for how we categorize threats and what kind of impact they can have. So finding out that it came within minutes of them not getting funding is really scary. This is something that, in my opinion, should be funded years in advance. This shouldn't be something where we need to worry about at the last minute sending out letters to board members telling them, hey, by the way, tomorrow we're going to run out of funding. Can you help? It is a bit odd, you know? CVEs are critical to global security, and uncertainty about their long-term viability can really screw with our ecosystem. So, long story short, with the CVE funding crisis, if we are not able to maintain and fund our CVE database, we're going to be in a lot of fucking trouble. That's just the long and short of it. Going back to that story before this one, there was something I wanted to share that I forgot. So let me hop on my screen back over here. So, new revelations about DOGE's activities in the labor agency come from a whistleblower in the IT department of NLRB, who disclosed his concerns to Congress and the U.S. Office of Special Counsel in a detailed report that was then provided to NPR. Meanwhile, his attempts to raise concerns internally preceded someone physically taping a threatening note to his door that included sensitive information and overhead photos of him walking his dog that appeared to be taken with a drone, according to a cover letter attached to disclosure filed by his attorney, Andrew Bankaj of nonprofit Whistleblower Aid. That is insane. It is just craziness. Next, we've got Chris Krebs. So this is not the Krebs most of you are probably thinking of when you hear Krebs. This is the Krebs who used to be the CISA director. He's now leaving SentinelOne, and he's going to be fighting back against the Trump administration, who is looking into him. He was the person who declared that our last election was the safest and most secure election ever before this current election here, where Trump got re-elected there. We're talking about the one when Biden won. It might be political, might not. Who knows? Long story short here, though, is that this dude's taking a leave of absence from SentinelOne, and he's going to court. He's going to be doing some interesting shit. He's going to yada, yada, yada. Chilling effect, very least. Potential huge. Where the fuck is Sledge? He's like, I'll be right back, and just disappears. All right. Running the ship by myself. We'll make it work. CISA funding crisis. We started talking about this just a little bit ago. The whole will it, won't it shutdown this week is a reminder of how important tracking vulnerabilities is for relatively small cost. We're talking their budget's like $30 million for this. Companies have been known to spend almost that much on their information security teams. So, you know, thousands of security bugs are discovered every year and noted in the CVE database, but a long-term stable funding solution still has not been found. Next, the Oracle breach. Now, we talked about the Oracle breach a couple of times in these past episodes. What up, M. Corbin? Oh, look who's back. Sledge without any devices connected. All right, so CISA warns of security fallout from Oracle breach. Just kidding, because whoever's still left at CISA put out an alert this week seemingly to handle the Oracle scandal, since the company's been doing a 2 thumbs up fantastic job of it, sarcasm tag, warning that companies who rely on Oracle Cloud should take action because Oracle clearly isn't. Oracle has been denying that there was a breach of their cloud for a while, there was a leak of a bunch of the SSO information for various companies for their integration to sign in to their product that was leaked online on breach forums. They still claim that it wasn't them, and if it could have been them, it isn't a relevant or recent product. It's craziness. They still haven't admitted to it. SSL certs are going to be limited to 47 days in 2029. This one ended. This will drive my IT security company crazy in terms of policies and the need to rotate certs every 47 days. So CA/browser forum is a body of web browser makers and SSL TLS certificate providers, and they voted to cut the maximum lifespan of newly issued certs to just 47 days. This is a bit insane when you consider that your average certificate lifespan right now is about a year. Now, if you're using Let's Encrypt, you got 90 days, and I got to figure out how to plug this thing in before it dies. And we're back. So 90 days, right, is kind of like your Let's Encrypt. This is half of that, 47 days. This will drive a lot of companies crazy. They're not going to be setting up certbot on servers. A lot of them like to still do this manually. If you don't have proper PKI infrastructure in your company, this is going to drive you nuts come March of next year. So just to be on the lookout for. We also have this next story here. We got this crosswalk buttons that were hacked to imitate Musk and Zuckerberg's voices. This is obviously a case of either hacktivism or just joking around, but either way, there is some video that was taken by locals that I'm going to share. So let's present that and share this tab. And hopefully the audio comes through.
God knows I've tried. But it can buy a Cybertruck, and that's pretty sick, right? Wait. Hi, this is Elon Musk. Welcome to Palo Alto, the home of Tesla engineering. You know, they say money can't buy happiness, and yeah, okay. I guess that's true. God knows I've tried. But it can buy a Cybertruck, and that's pretty sick, right? Right? Fuck, I'm so alone.
That is pretty funny, and hopefully the audio came through there. So somebody decided to screw with the crosswalks over there, make them pretend to have Elon's voice. Obviously, they probably use some AI to generate that voice. Pretty funny, arguably. Now, if you're going to get all serious about it, these crosswalk buttons are also designed to help people who might be visually impaired, ensure that they'll be able to cross the crosswalk properly, make sure they don't get hit by a car, all that fun stuff. I really don't think that functionality is going to be affected by this hack too much, but it is something to consider. And we still have this 23andMe data not really data breach, but they went under, and what happens to your data is kind of still a question, and it really shouldn't be. If you give your DNA data to a company to run some genetic sequencing on you, they should not be taking your data and then reselling it to whoever buys their company in the future. Now, it's one thing if another company that does the same exact thing absorbs them, but what if somebody decides just to buy the company so they can get access to a whole bunch of people's genetic data? And that's a big no-no. So there are some congressional hearings about it happening. They already had a DNA data breach back in 2023. There are national security concerns about this, and bankruptcy. What happens when you go bankrupt to your sensitive data? Big freaking concern. Everyone in Palo is visually impaired. All the C is money. All the C is money. Yes. And we have a comment here. Yes, we can hear it from Robert. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Next, we've got Android Auto Reboot Security. So there's a new update being pushed out to Android devices, being piloted by the Pixel devices, that will force devices to reboot after 3 days idle. This follows Apple's security approach, and it prevents physical attacks post-theft, meaning that you would not only need to re-authenticate with a weaker form of authentication. If you've ever rebooted your Android, if you have like a PIN code, and say you decide to still enroll your biometrics, right? You can make it so that on top of putting your thumb there, you also still have to put a code in, which would be your second factor code. There's a lot of cool shit you can do to lock down your Android. Honestly, right now, I think in terms of like the Android ecosystem, graphene running on like a Pixel 8 that you can get used on Amazon for like $330 will $330, not $3.30, will do you pretty damn good in terms of having a fairly locked down phone that's not going to get you popped. There's a lot of cool features in graphene. And you can even still install the Google Play Store if you really, really want to. I don't recommend that you do, but it runs it in this kind of cool proxied way where you can see the data that goes between the apps and the Google Play Store, and you can decide to limit, what rights each app has to your data. So graphene is a good, solid Android OS. Highly recommend if you are going to be using a secure phone. Next, we've got this Apple zero-day exploit. So in their core audio system, there is an ability to craft a malicious file that will pop an Apple phone right now. This is a zero-day exploit. It is being used by nation states. There's an urgent update needed, and there is broad device impact on this. The 4chan hack. So I was pretty thrilled to see 4chan get hacked. Just because it for the lulz alone. This happened because of another forum that was something called like Soy Boy. I don't even remember the name of it, but think of it as something kind of like something awful. It was another competing 4chan forum, and these dudes in this soy forum, whatever the heck the deal is there, soy jock or soy, who cares? But these dudes popped 4chan by figuring out that when you upload a PDF file, it will actually render code that's in there if it's PostScript. So what they did was they found a place in 4chan where you could upload PDFs. They uploaded a PDF and in there put commands within the PDF file. Instead of making it legit PDF, it was issuing some PostScript commands, which is like printer driver stuff. And long story short, they were able to get RCE because 4chan had not been patched since 2012. I think when Moot left, security kind of took a backdoor, and this was just kind of happened eventually. It is funny, they doxed a lot of information in this and included the full source code of the website. And that is really easy to find, that breach. I've got a copy of it. I'm not going to show it on the podcast, but I mean, it's not hard to find. Florida, this is a big deal for CounterSurveil here, has an anti-encryption bill that they're putting forward. Police are not going to need to do a lot of the work that they used to do in terms of getting a warrant. All they need is a subpoena, meaning they can go to get a subpoena and they can force you to let them into your phone. They're using the old excuse that this is for the children, to protect children. It's going to set a precedent that can be used in other states, and you're opening your data up for backlash here. So like this, opening your data up for backlash, that sentence doesn't even make sense. This is what happens when I don't have anybody here with me to call my shit. So just by like being a suspect of something, they go get a subpoena, they get your phone, they force you to unlock it, then they find evidence of some unrelated crime, and guess what? You're going to jail. This is not a good bill. And if this becomes what they use as a precedent for other states, this could be a big downhill battle for encryption. Bad enough, Google takes your freaking messages that you get from Google notification services and hands them over still to the feds. Bad enough that they used to do warrantless geofence warrants where anybody associated with a police station could just be like, hey, Google, tell us everybody who was in this geographic location where somebody's bike got stolen, and then we're going to go to everybody's door and ask them if they're the one who stole it. That's bad enough. But now we got this anti-encryption bill. That's, it's just garbage. The AI crosswalk thing also, I find it very funny that somebody hacked a crosswalk to mimic some tech engineers. They exploited default passwords here. So we're not talking this is like, oh, this is a super hard hack. Oh, look, it's a fan, a ceiling fan. Nope, a light. It's a light. Light has joined the cast. Hello, Light.
That's your biggest fan.
Well, at least somebody's watching.
Fuck it, none of my computers want to work today.
Yeah, I had to stall, so I covered almost all the fucking news, and now I have hardly anything else to talk about. Thanks for that. It was like, Jesus Christ, 23 minutes of me just bullshitting through the news without you here to comment on anything. I'm surprised anybody's still watching.
Did you make sure to delineate the difference between Chris and Brian Krebs?
I definitely did. Because when I say Krebs, everybody's like, Krebs on security? No, the one who's in charge of CISA, who arguably is probably more important.
Right.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we talked a little bit about that CISA. Actually, CISA also provided some mitigation for that Oracle cloud breach. Finally, because dude, it's been like a month, and Oracle's just been denying anything happened. Yet the data's out there, and companies have come forward and been like, "Hey, yeah, that is our SSO information. If you want to log into our environment, and that is the pre-shared key, and yeah, this is accurate. This is not something that should be public." Yet they're still saying they have not been hit, which is kind of bullshit.
Is that like one account or like a hard-coded account? I didn't read the article.
Good question. So this is like not so much an account of the customers that got breached, but the information that they need to utilize to get single sign-on working when they want to connect via Oracle Cloud to their internal environment. So like think of it like if you're using Okta in your environment, this would be that like configuration file and all that associated like certificate key stuff that you need to set up properly if you're going to be setting up TOTP or like SAML authentication. So like you could, in theory, take that information and use it to log into customers' environments. So it's a big deal, and they're still saying, nope, we were not breached.
That's a feature.
It's a feature, not a bug. You remember like a year ago when Google had that stupid issue where if you left it with the defaults when you were setting up sign-in with Google and didn't like generate your own key, you could reuse that for any other idiot who set it up the same way to log into their stuff. So like anybody who just went and like, I'm going to add the sign in with Google thing to my page, just copy and pasted the code to do that, ended up making it so that if the bad guys intercepted that token, they could log into other freaking services that have login with Google because they did not change the defaults, which is why even put that as an option. It's just change it. Make them change it. Make it so the web page itself will regenerate the damn key every time they load it or something. There's got to be a better way than that.
What is this, an IoT device?
Dude, I popped a few IoT devices not too long ago. The prevalence of hard-coded root credentials is like, what the hell? But, that stupid light bulb that I was using as a pivot on a pen test a while ago, it still works with Netcat. It has to pull Netcat down every time it boots back up. So you have to have a stable place where Netcat's going to be hosted. But the literal thing is like it still works. You can still change the colors on the light bulb, but I can then pivot through it with Netcat, which is just fucking great.
And then printers occasionally.
Dude, Jason Street's book, the first one, he had written a thing in there about hackers popping the printer and using it for persistence on a network. And I had never heard of that really being a thing outside of like, a couple of random articles about people trying it, but it's more like a lab thing than an actual thing hackers use. Like on a pen test, I would never pop a printer. I try to stay away from fucking printers. Now, if you're an actual hacker, not that a pen tester's not an actual hacker, but if you're a bad guy hacker, black hat, not doing it for security purposes, I can see a printer being a good place to hide. And with those Ripple vulnerabilities that came out not long ago, I could definitely see people using them to pop a printer and stay persistent.
It's like I've been able to get shells on printers and everything. Every pen test, you can get a shell on printer over 9001, 9002, but the variable here is it connected to Active Directory or not? If it is, yeah, it's game over, but I've never seen it actually connected to AD. I've always seen printers just like willy-nilly laying on the network.
I've seen it connected to AD in a college environment because they wanted to charge students for each page they printed out. So they were tracking that with a print server, and you'd log in with your AD creds. So the print server itself, which also was running as admin, once you logged into it, you could do lots of fun shit.
Mm-hmm. I was doing work for a law firm, and I got onto all their printers, and I was able to send it text to print. And I asked my boss, I was like, can I rickroll them or do something? So yeah, we totally did.
You know, I've thought of printing out like a never going to give you up page, you know, to all the printers where you can print to on a network, but I've never done it. It's bad enough that Nmap makes the printer spin out pages of gobbledygook and add an insult to injury there.
Yep, there's another story there. If anybody has ever used Nessus before and you go through the settings, do not uncheck that box that says don't scan printers.
Yes,
we were doing an on-site, and this old lady comes up to us with like as much paper as she could hold in her arms, and she's like, "Is this you guys?" And I was like, "Shit, yeah, I think so."
That's great. I think the stupidest thing on a pen test I've seen when it comes to printers is just that, you know, like the fact that just by scanning like some companies will have a subnet just for printers. That's pretty smart to do. Not many people do it, but if you do it and then you put that in scope of the pen test, you're going to see all your printers just spitting out gobbledygook. And let's just hope they don't have a fresh pack of paper in them.
Well, it's kind of neat though, because I forget the name of the protocols, but port 9001, 9002, printers are natively listening for whatever the hell hits that port, it's going to print. And like my favorite printer story was that cash register I pen tested for, where they wired in the lock to pop the register. They wired in that mechanism with the beep beep noise or whatever that's supposed to be there when it prints. So every time it tries to print, it opens the cash register, but the printer is sitting on the network. So you tickle the printer, it sends that electrical signal, and it opened the cash register. And the dude that owned that company was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, dude, that is great.
Apparently that vulnerability has been around for a long time, and nobody's addressed it.
Yeah, there's another one with cups that was big like a year ago because, you know, it was like they made a big deal about it, and then it turned out to be a nothing burger. But it was still interesting that you could find systems with exposed cups and then just pop them.
Yeah, I remember that one. Never seen it in the wild, though. But yeah, that was a big one.
So we got here, and let's minimize my file tree because not everybody needs to see everything on my fucking computer. We got the 4chan breach here. So they got their source code leaked.
Did it get leaked on 4chan?
You know, it was one of their sister forums, and ironically, it's not showing the whole thing, but I just extract that right here in the folder. It's not as fun when it's on a zip file. Let's go. Did I extract this anywhere? That'd probably make life easier. Let's stop sharing for a second and fix that. But yeah, this 4chan breach is fucking interesting. The fact that they were popped by PDF file is hilarious. Extract to 4chan. Yeah. Go in that fucking folder and just reshare the screen. Notice not as many people tune in when Evelyn's not here. They're like, I want Evelyn. Get her here. Get me the alt key. I'm not watching.
She's
So,
spamming all her coworkers with the links.
of course. So we got source code of their website that was leaked, and somehow that's still fucking zipped. So let's go here and just extract that crap right there. There we go.
Yeah, if it
We got
wasn't
their
obvious, I'm
configs
using my
that were
phone,
leaked.
so I can't really see.
Their captcha config. Is empty. Their global config ini file was a lot of information they should not have let people fuck with. But yeah, there's a lot of information in this leak here. I haven't had time to go through it all, but it's interesting. There's a Kiwi Farms thread that kind of goes over. It's Soyjack Party. Those are the fuckers who hacked it. They have their own 4chan like website. They're the ones who popped this thing. They call themselves the Shardy. And this would
Wonder how
be
much
the thread here.
has anybody done an analysis on that yet? Like PII
I'm sure
kind of
lots
stuff.
people have looked through it. Oh, yeah. I don't think there was too many things leaked in terms of the actual emails and stuff of people. People were claiming that there was stuff about staff members and .gov addresses. I have not seen anything like that in the leak at all. There's just nothing useful. But I haven't dug as far as I probably should into it either.
It's 4chan. It probably is a nothing burger.
True.
Well, I don't know. If you can correlate usernames to actual names, that would be really interesting.
Well, I mean, with 4chan, unless you got a paid account, you're doing the whole I'm anonymous thing. It's kind of like how it works.
Right. Hey, look, now it's just me. This goes on the B-roll.
I dropped. I'm back. Sorry about that. Closed the wrong tab. So, yeah, some fucking hacker goes to close the fucking Chrome tab and closes all of Chrome. Fucking great.
Hey, that's the universe saying I get what I get.
Exactly. You get what you fucking deserve is what the universe says. Yeah, let's see if I can get that freaking thing back. Image file.
I was about to show off some badass Kikkoman sauce.
Yeah, show off the sauce. It's the secret sauce. So these are all the different stories we covered this week. I think, for 35 minutes we've been broadcasting and me just talking without anybody interrupting me, I actually covered them all. And I'm not shit to talk about.
What?
Yeah. What?
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 Interrupting Panda?
Speaking of pandas, are we going to get Panda on as a guest next week?
Yes, sir. Him and another victim are planning on Monday.
So what's the latest update on all of that?
The latest one is guilt by association. He got his certs revoked. He spent about $1,000 certs revoked because he was in the wrong Discord chat. And that's the only evidence that they can provide.
Wow. Yeah, man, that's kind of crazy to revoke somebody's search just because they're in a Discord that has shared training materials in the past. It doesn't mean necessarily they were shared with you or you shared them with anybody. It's kind of sketchy.
I mean, if he did, that's one thing, but with no evidence, the hell?
I'll tell you what, man, Cyber Mentor, dude, if you do watch this, I highly doubt you ever will, but you got to do some damage control, man, because you are not looking great in the community right now. A lot of people are talking. This can end very badly if you don't do some proper damage control.
I would just chalk it up to a mistake and just move on.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So, outside of the Cyber Mentor drama, we did do a special cast this Saturday for those of you who are unaware covering that. We're going to have one of the guys, the main guy, who has...
3.
Oh, there's 3 now. Okay, well,
Yep.
We're going to get 2 out of 3 of them on?
At least, yes.
Badass. Maybe reach out to Heath, ask if he wants to come on.
I'm tempted to, yes. That would actually be cool because I think he was watching the last one.
Yeah, I think that's because our friend shared it with him, who was on here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I think if he is watching, he should really work on damage control because this is not looking good. Like, even in the comments of our last video, someone's like, I was going to go for this cert with him, but now I'm not. And he also complained about our audio sucking. But, you know,
I saw that.
Sucked, so. It's great.
Yeah, it's like you can't just like run around hammer and fist and basically steal money from people.
That's what we got to get. We got a third guy. Got to get a third guy named Fist.
Yeah.
Sledgehammer and Fist.
We might as well make it Sickle and be fucking communists.
Fist Hammer.
Yeehaw.
How many days till DEF CON? You got the clock counting down?
I do not. I didn't even realize it was Easter until somebody invited me to church.
I didn't realize it was Easter until I heard the Pope died. And it's like, shit, the Pope died the day after Easter. Holy
that was
shit.
a pretty popular thing.
It was populist, yeah. Well, I'm sure the conspiracy theory bros will have something to say about it. And,
right.
You know, it'll be fun. There's always some fun conspiracy around everything that we can listen to and later.
Oh, always.
Well,
it's going to be on 4chan.
So I got this fucking Ponagachi all configured. It should be working. Should be doing its thing. Guess what? It just reboots every 2 minutes for no fucking reason. It's trying to drive me insane, I think.
Is that the one where you actually reinstalled the firmware and everything?
Yeah, man. I have rebuilt this now. I put a new screen on it. It's a different Raspberry Pi. The only thing that's the same is the Pi Sugar here that provides the power when it's not plugged in.
I was gonna say my gut is saying power supply.
Yeah, when you install the software, it's got a thing where it'll allow it to turn it off when the power gets low. I had that set for 2% battery, and this thing should not be anywhere near 2% battery. But yeah, it's driving me nuts, and I got to keep troubleshooting it because I got to send it out to my pen tester buddy for an assessment. He wants to use one of these. I've never seen somebody use this on an assessment before, but he wants to try it, so I'm gonna let him try it.
Couldn't hurt.
Exactly.
I'm still working on this those Liligo things for that USB Swiss Army knife thing.
Oh yeah, Liligo's good shit.
Yeah, these are cool with the LCD screen on it.
Yeah, these are the Heltec ones are pretty cool. They're cheap shit, like 2 for $40 on Amazon. They got a LoRa radio built in. Cheapest you can get is that $10 fucking thing that's got like a sandwich board together. I was thinking of trying to use that in a badge, but my God, what a bitch and a half to get that working right.
Right.
And these guys, you know, I still got to send you this shit. You know, this thing, it's in pieces, but it does work. This is the one with the Liligo T keyboard. And dude, you know that firmware that we were looking at also runs on this. That one that's for the ESP, I think it's called Ghost. You could also flash that on these and use the keyboard on this to conduct a few attacks, which is kind of cool.
Sweet.
And yeah, I even got the right batteries for these fucking things, which are hard. Like the connector on these is weird, but I found it.
I've seen a big uptick in a bunch of people out of different countries making little hardware attachments for your flipper. that just basically they're stacking ESP32s and some antennas and doing cool shit with it.
Yeah, man. I saw one where this dude had put 2 amplifiers for the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz spectrum on it to boost it so he could use it to take out security cameras. I thought that was pretty badass.
Yeah, I saw that one. And then like the really cool one I saw was some dude like actually automated the evil twin on a little handheld device. I was like, that's pretty cheeky.
I mean, you gotta automate everything you can when it comes to testing nowadays. The more you can automate, the less you're fucking around with config files during the test. So it does make sense. Well, I think I'm gonna call it. I got nothing else to talk about, and I got shit.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I gotta go insulate my windows.
You gonna go get that shit that expands the foam insulating shit, or are you gonna get?
Well,
caught?
that's next week for the attic. This week I put in window film on everything because the AC can't keep up with how much UV is coming into the house.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fix your insulation there. It's you get the kind that reflects back the shit that comes in with like the little tinfoil type shit on the outside.
Yeah, that's the stuff I got. I just got to put it up. But the contractor for the attic insulation, apparently I have 6 inches. They changed the code to 13. So I gotta get some more insulation.
So do it yourself and don't tell the contractor.
Correct.
And hope
All I wanted was a price range. I've done my own blow-in insulation before. You can go rent the tool at Home Depot and just do it yourself.
Dude, I really hate to think what's going to happen when you sell that house and they actually inspect it. They're going to be like, this is not up to code. You're like, I have no idea. That's your idea.
No, half of it's going to be like, that wasn't me. That's how I bought it.
I bought it that way. It's grandfathered in.
When the houses look like it went through an earth, or the walls are wavy, like laying the hardwood floor was a challenge. Why is the wall not straight?
I was thinking like getting a bunch of those emergency Mylar blankets. The ones that if you were to dangle them from a drone onto power lines, it would take out the nation. Those ones, and just like use them for insulation in the house. Is like put them against the wall and see if it helps at all when it gets really, really hot.
Yeah, it might. Potentially. It's reflective if you point it in the right direction. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking. Could work. On that bright side, if you do it on the outside of the house, you can make your house just look like it's a giant tinfoil house. And then it's like, what's going on with that house? Oh, that's the hacker house. They have tinfoil.
Well, if you do it that way, you'll start getting a bunch of rioters and protesters hating on Tesla.
Not to get political, but dude, I can get you not liking Musk, but fucking with somebody's car is kind of a dick move regardless of your reasoning. You're like, you can be all like, oh look, it's CrowdStrong right as we're about to leave.
You guys seemed like you needed an inject of interesting.
We definitely do, because I'm out of fucking shit to talk about. So what do you got to say?
And I came in with nothing.
Good. I love to wing it. You know me. You were talking about all kinds of different gadgets and things. So I caught the last, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. So I'm playing with a Raspberry Pi. I actually had a Zero that I built a print server on today because that's what I had decided.
Hey, 2 topics meshed.
Yeah. Yeah. Built a print server today. This one's going to be a Ponagachi. I've got some ESP32s here that I plan to do some stuff with. They were intended to be to run some lights. So there's an easement off my desk here in certain areas that I was going to run lights to, but I've decided that I think I might, I don't know, build a hacking tool. Who knows, really? And I'm not actually sure what this is, honestly. This looks like LEDs for maybe a vehicle. Not sure what vehicle, but I've got LEDs for vehicle. I have no idea where they came from. Love that. I have the stuff for a Ponagachi here somewhere.
Dude, when you start your Ponagachi, you and I need to collab because for some reason my shit just keeps turning off every 2 fucking minutes and it's driving me insane. I have literally switched out all the hardware. It's literally a brand new and I'm still having the same fucking issue. It's trying to drive me nuts.
It's your case.
There's not even a case on it this time. It's just
damn. I printed the case for you guys watching. I printed the case for him, so I'm just kind of poking fun at myself. Speaking of printing things, there's a hammer on its way, getting worked on as we speak. The new iteration is going on back here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but maybe there's a hammer.
Nice.
That is going fast. That's cool.
I love this printer so much. Let me sing its praises once more. I have another one in the kitchen. All right. So, funny story. 2 weeks ago, I'm at my parents' house, just visiting with them before I went off to the island last week. I actually think I was in the basement when we did this last the week before last. So, I did a thing. A few weeks prior to that, Dad was hanging out with me here because Mom was dealing with some stuff with her mother and her siblings. And so Dad was here with me for a couple of hours, and I showed him some of the cool stuff that I've been working on here in the lab. And really long story short, some of the stuff I'd been 3D printing and all this and all that. And my dad is the least technological person I think I know. It's bad. It's real bad. Like, I keep extra hardware, like computers built for him because he gets viruses so often on his computer. I just keep extras because it's much easier than having to try and rebuild them on the fly. So stuff built, sit in the cloud, whatever. Anyway, so I got him to buy a printer of his own because I walked into the bathroom the other day and they had a bar of soap sitting on the counter. On the paper, the bar of soap came on. I'm like, I'll just print myself a holder. Oh, damn, I can't print myself a holder. There's not a printer here. I bet I could say something about this. So I did. So I'm still waiting on filament to show up. A very, very large shipment of filament that got shipped out, coming to find out, about 2 hours ago, like Friday. But I have another one sitting in my kitchen to go to my dad. I'm elated about it because not only does he want it to run at his house, he wants to learn how to use it. So it should be fun to teach him how that's done if I can keep his attention long enough to do it.
That'd be cool.
Wish me luck. But I've got all kinds of things for odds and ends things for projects and stuff. The printer is an old laser printer that technically I could just run a network cable to because there's one running across the room, but I'm lazy and I wanted a project for my nephew to do because he's young and into this and all that. I gave it to him 2 weeks ago before I left to do the thing. Well, he had some issues, and I don't know if you've worked with a Raspberry Pi Zero, the first iteration.
I have all of them.
Well, it doesn't do GUI very well anymore. So I just dropped the light version of Raspbian or Raspberry, whatever the new version is, the light version, the CLI version, and just installed cups and did the thing. It was easy. Samba, and I did it in an hour and a half, whatever. It's fine. But
you should make it the vulnerable version just for shits and giggles.
No. It's actually printer. And eventually what will happen is that thing will get have a cable run to it or something, and I don't know, I'll do something with it. But that'll leave me with a Raspberry Pi. But I bought the 2 to replace it because I wanted to build a Ponagachi because, as I said, I have the parts for it. The original one was intended for a number of years ago. I saw a project where this guy had taken a Raspberry Pi and an old NES cartridge with a USB hub and some other stuff, and basically built a Super Nintendo into a cartridge. So you plug the cartridge up to the TV via HDMI, and you have a Super Nintendo, emulated Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
That's badass. Delta has got this thing where he's got a 3.5 floppy, and embedded in it is a screen and the little controls, and you can like and navigate media that's on the thing. Like you can upload a movie to it and technically play it through it. It's really fucking badass.
I've got something like that. Let's see. Hold on one second.
I think what Strong is talking about, though, is more of emulator, but in a cool form factor.
Like, yeah, I get you. Like this, right?
Yeah. Hey, I got one of those in my other office.
Certainly never play this during a meeting when I'm supposed to be paying attention. I would never do such a thing.
Yeah, and mine totally wasn't intercepting Microsoft and Logitech mice and keyboard strokes.
The crazy radio PA dongle apparently can do that for about a block. Same frequency, but it's meant for drones and has a better antenna. So when you pop the software on there to do the mouse jacking attack, you can broadcast your shit to like every wireless keyboard on the block and just make it.
Man, that mouse jacking was so cool. The guy, I'm gonna brain fart on his name, but the initial talk he gave on that was at a college, and I recorded it, so I got it somewhere. And then he just started getting popular, go like all over the world talking about that.
So I found what I'm looking for. The problem is I have to find a cable to make it run because it's dead at the moment. But it's really neat if I can find a cable for it. I might be asking a lot of that.
Oh, Mark Newland, mouse jacking.
All right, so this neat little gadget, it was an acid reflux thing, right? Little card, little thing. And on it is a screen that is supposed to play different videos about this Lynx platform, right? It's a little implantable looking motherfucker. If you play 1, 2, and 3, it plays different episodes of Rick and Morty. I can't find a cable because it's a mini USB, and who the fuck has that anymore? But one day,
Me.
No, that's micro, mini.
No, I know. Everybody has a box of cables. I got a couple of those.
Yeah, I know. I'm searching through mine. Quite literally searching through mine to see if I can find. I want to play. I don't remember which ones of these. I want to see if I can find one that works because I would love to show you because it's one of the dumbest things I ever did. Not that that's hard to accomplish for me.
I can top that.
Sure.
Hold my beer.
Sure. That would have me. There's a new Doom coming out, and the box plays Doom. That one made me really happy.
That is so meta. I love it.
The box it comes in of the
Doom,
the what's called edition plays Doom.
Doom can play Doom.
Yep.
That settles the argument.
Doom.
All right. Let's see. Do I have a battery pack? Am I asking too much? I might be. Here. Let's see if I can just power this bitch.
I ordered an unpickable lock from Germany. They wouldn't ship it to the States, so I had to do a drop shipping thing to a friend that lives out there and have them ship it to me. So it should be here in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's an unpickable lock.
Nice.
I think lockpicking lawyer would disagree.
No, it's even on his channel. He even says it's unpickable. He couldn't pick it, and that's the joke. It's not a lock.
Oh yeah, it's just the thing, the hasp.
It looks like a lock with the sticker on the back, so you stick it on something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me 30 seconds. Let me go grab a battery pack. I think I can make this run. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. And that was the last we saw of CrowdStrong.
Bye.
So I was looking up rubber chickens on Amazon, and this one that the top pops off. I was thinking we could backdoor a rubber chicken and put like a Raspberry Pi in there and make it like a little Ponagachi inside without a screen.
Or just like bad USBs or something.
Yeah, but then you'd have to plug a USB in. We could probably rip down an area where his Johnson would be and make a little insert. If we really wanted to.
I mean, you could get the little tiny rubber chickens and put some shitty ass USB sticks in and hand them out at DEF CON and see how many people are dumb enough to plug it in.
Oh, dude, I can make use of some of my old hit injection attack scripts from the Ducky days.
Hey, we could actually call it Ducky script at that point.
then it would be my first and last DEF CON. It's like as a goon, like this goon was handing out backdoor rubber duckies that were actually rubber duckies.
I heard backdoor rubber duckies, and that's a fantastic band name first and foremost. But second off, yo, what the fuck? Rubber chickens, backdoor rubber chickens. There we are. That's what I heard.
Rubber chickens. There were no duckies, but we should add some duckies to this.
Let's see. Does it
duckies and the chickens? Does it work?
It might. No,
it's got a charging. It's charging.
It's angry about its fucking power. All right, so I'm gonna burn some time until this. I can bullshit my way through this until it works. I swear.
You can do it.
All right, so I got power. It won't play if it's charging, so that sucks. Now there's no telling how old this battery actually is. I think I acquired this thing in like 2018. So we're just gonna let it sit and charge for a little bit and see what it does. That's where that sits.
Hopefully.
Patient. Yeah. I know where you were going. So I found my
Shut up, Google.
I found my e-ink display for my plans for my Honagachi and some other stuff. So I have all of that. I just need to put it all together. Yeah, should be an interesting time. We love that. Let's see. Got my hands on this neat little thing earlier. Okay, so it holds.
Is that Pow Kitty?
A nano SIM, 2 micro SD cards, a USB, and this neat little gadget, which is a USB SD card readers and goes from
A to C.
Lightning to USB to fucking hold on.
What happens if you plug in the two computers at once?
It's docking.
Do they both get to read?
It's docking. It docks. Yeah. So Lightning, C, USB A. Neat little gadget. Could be handy somewhere. I haven't vetted it to make sure that it doesn't have some kind of like Russian nation state actor bullshit on it. So I gotta vet it first. But that's fine. It's not hard.
My first thought is, what if we plug in all of those power sources with those same adapter types and see if it catches on fire?
There we go. That's it. We got power draw. Tell me how much power something's drawing.
Speaking of USB and power, I don't have it next to me, but when I worked at one of my old jobs, my boss challenged me to set a computer on fire using those USB killers, which is basically a stack of capacitors that charges up when you plug it in, and then it shocks the computer and kills it.
He's still got the box. I used to have the box for that too.
So the USB kill, you say?
Yep. Didn't I give that to you?
No, that one.
I had a shit ton at DEF CON that year.
So Bob from a few weeks ago gifted the box because he gifted the device to someone else when I left the hospital. So, yeah, I have the tester device, but I don't have the USB kill. And, whoever ended up with the USB kill, the thing's probably long gone if I had to guess. But I would love to get my hands on another one of those things.
Long story short, I had like 6 of them. I can send you one.
Based. If you wanna hook a brother up, I know a guy who'd use it. So.
Oh yeah, it wasn't me. I just know a guy that has it.
Back in the olden days of 3D printing, the very original printer I bought was the DaVinci 1.0, and this little guy, the DaVinci, had these little plastic containers that held the spools of filament. Okay. and they had little microchips on them that told you how much filament was in the device. So somebody was cool enough to make this little thing. I bought this off of eBay, I think, years and years and years ago. Had to be almost a decade now. That would sit down and make contact with the little microchip and reset the counter on it. So I could just take regular filament and put it back in there, because I had to sit that box in it, and it would read as much, or it would read like it was pulling filament out of the box, because they were trying to sell their own filament. So just ran one of these and bloop, worked great. So now I have this. I think it's maybe an Arduino of sorts, an Arduino Nano. I actually haven't done any research on this thing. I have no idea what's on it or how it works or any of that. It's just something that I bought ages ago, and I found it as I was going through some boxes the other day. So because I don't use that printer anymore, I actually don't think I have that printer anymore. It may be in the other room. Anyway, I'll never use the printer again, so I figure I'll probably rip this apart and see if I can make use of that Arduino. Neat little gadget.
You could probably dump the firmware that's on there right off of it. It's not that hard.
Sure, I probably could. I found the cable that goes to it to charge this thing. So, this is just a neat little gadget that I happen to have. I've been going through all kinds of stuff here at the house, and I realized how much of a menace I've been before in my career. It's I have another one here too as well. It's a USB-C, but like I found no less than like 20 different 30 genuinely probably almost 40 different USBs that I have no idea what's on them. I got a whole drawer, and I can't pull the drawer out, but yeah, I've got when I was young back in high school, I used to walk around in high school with this on my neck because I was that guy. And I'm 99% certain one of these is a rubber ducky. 99% certain.
All right. I've got so many USB sticks that I'm always working with. Mm-hmm. I had to order some more paper for this guy so I could label everything.
Let's see. Where's one of these?
But dude, one of these days we should give a tour of my Pelican case that I take to Vegas every year.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Oh, look. That's a rubber ducky. Hot damn. Look at him.
Hell yeah.
Love that. So, yeah, I would love. I don't think I've ever actually seen that case. I don't know what's in it.
Everything.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I've ever seen a case. I've seen the case. I don't know what's in the case.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case.
Shut the That was a nickname for one of my ex-girlfriend's D&D characters.
That's a lot of people's nicknames.
Nickname for one of my ex-girlfriends, period.
Yeah.
Nice. That's terrible. But I
the backup.
I approve. I do. I approve. Not that you need my approval, to be clear, but I approve anyway. So what? So
is it charged? Can you run it?
Hold on. Give me a minute. Let me put this shit back in this drawer. I'm working on it.
You're not allowed to straighten up after. What is this?
Clean
up time?
Clean up. Everybody do your part. Okay. All right. Does she work? Baby, links. We got links. Run.
Hey.
Run.
Come on now.
Run. Ah, yes.
Hey. There you go. Cool. Hell yeah.
Let's see. There we go.
Damn, that speaker's not bad.
Yeah. So yeah, quick and dirty, something stupid I did one day to mess with somebody. The guy that gave this to me, just I did the thing because it was there to do. Yeah, and it
How
worked
did you
great.
mount the storage on the thing?
Huh? Oh, drop it on my computer. It literally is I think it's got like 128 megs of storage. some asinine amount, and I can just drop it on the machine, and all you have to do is format the name of the file to whatever button you want, and it's done. It's really simple. Let's see.
With like MP4.
Yeah, 213 megs, and the video format is MP4s. Yes, so I can put 3 of whatever I want, basically.
You should put some hacking videos on the thing.
That's a great idea, actually. Yeah, just have to drop some. It'd have to be less than 250 megs collectively, but
Videos of how to hack that thing would be more meta than having Rick and Morty on there.
Well, remember at the time I wasn't near. I was just a lowly IT guy. This was around the time that I almost died in Vegas that one time. Remember? So like, I also got these.
Oh yeah, I got those. Is that the rectal one?
It's the rectal one. And then not at all to be political, but your boy loves this. It says me and my homies would have been stacking bodies by now.
Right. Man, your camera does not zoom for shit.
Yeah, no, I need a new camera. I actually have.
You need a backlight.
I mean, yeah, that would probably not hurt. I got this. I don't know if it's worth anything, honestly. I haven't tried it yet. But this is a Logitech. This is a really expensive Logitech, actually.
Yeah, but you got no light for it to zoom in on.
I mean, that's fair. That's what the whole point of the ESP32s and the light things were for.
Well, get it going.
The whole idea.
So Delsight's got some experience with controlling LEDs with the ESP hardware, and he's got a specific library that he argued with the guy in terms of, I think it was something about voltage and additional voltage needed per LED. And arguing with the guy who wrote the firmware because the guy did the calculation wrong. And he eventually got him to push a code update that fixed something with it. But dude knows a lot about that. You're friends with him, so you should hit him up. He could probably help you in terms of guiding you. He's built some cool shit in his apartment where you push the Jewish space laser button, and it actually has like the LEDs go from one end all the way to the other, like a laser was actually fired. It's cool shit.
That's what. Do you know offhand what firmware that was?
Nope. Yes.
It's like,
I can't hear you because you're muted.
There's a whole lot of different. That's a whole angle there, bud. Jesus. Holy crap. Fun I can do this. Shit, that's a much wider angle camera. But how do I look? Just for continuity's sake.
Sexy bitch.
same as always.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna swap to the other camera. Yeah, hold on. We'll do this live since we're here. Okay. This one feels darker, much darker.
Oh, now it is way darker. There you go.
Let's see. We're gonna.
Wow.
That's a wild difference.
Yeah, now we can. Yeah.
Kinda
Well, if you hold it still.
it doesn't want to.
It still doesn't zoom.
Yeah, no, it doesn't want to. Doesn't want to do the thing.
It just says me and my homies would be stacking bodies by now.
It's fine.
Got it.
Whatever. Anyway.
As AVE would say, focus, you fuck.
Focus, you fuck. Yeah, I love him. I love him so much. We should have him on the podcast.
Yeah, we should.
Get him on.
Dude, if we could, I have no idea if he would do that, but God, that would be so awesome. I love that now.
We would have a redneck off for sure.
Oh my God, it would be wild. That'd be such a wild time. But yeah, I have that's what the original intent were. Those LEDs were to give me a backlight because I need some kind of something because it's bad. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, I've got gadgets and tools and toys and gizmos and whatnot, and I have no idea how ESP32s work. So the point is to learn and to do the thing, but I've never actually used them.
One thing I was thinking of putting up on our website would be like a CounterSurveil hardware exchange, where somebody's like, "Oh, I've got like a WaveShare 2.13 inch e-paper display.
Dope as hell.
I was going to use it for this," and like somebody else is like, "Well, I'll trade you like an Arduino Nano for that," and just like let people fucking.
That would be sick. That would be sick.
Call it the open hardware library or whatever.
My for my analysts that I work with, I guess I should say, my library is being cataloged right now, both physical and digital, and I'm going to offer that to them as a library of sorts. And hopefully, other people who have libraries will offer to allow books to be not rented out, but the word
Borrowed.
There we go. That's it.
Calibre has a front end, and it'll index all your books, kind of like Flex will. And you can put a web front end to it. Not that I would run it off my home computer, mind you, but you can toss that shit up on a VPS and share your library out that way. I've never done an assessment on its security, but I've not had it popped when I did run it out on the internet.
That's good to know. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that. But yeah, here's a. I'm not sure how I like the angle of this machine. This thing. It's got a much wider angle. A lot more. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what's going on with Steve here. You're getting a nice view of
check
Steve.
that out. He's up in his cool room.
Yeah.
He's up in the fun room.
No, the fun room.
Yeah, this is the room that we always talk about.
Oh shit! That looks like it'd be fun to hang out. I wouldn't go all the way to Georgia to hang out there, but it does look cool.
You should come all the way to Georgia to hang out there. It's just pretty awesome room, dude.
Awesome.
We have fun.
I gotta go out there and hang out with him. Shit.
Literally, the joke is if the cops don't show up, we didn't have enough fun.
Yep.
That's actually a thing.
So what I need to do is I just need to come and spend like a couple of days, and I'll do the cast from your place since we're there. But we'll do that there while I'm there. But I just come out and hang out a couple of days, a long weekend or whatever, and yeah, there's his rack and all that we talk about. It's sick.
I can see why your roommate turns your power off.
Oh man, but yeah, good stuff.
That right there, though.
Yeah. That thing it gets loud in that house.
Should have they used to do like hackers on a farm. Like we should do like hackers in Sledge's house for no reason. Just invite like 400 hackers to his house.
It actually happens. We do it about every quarter.
Yeah. You get a whole bunch of people do all kinds of shit.
Next time you fucking have one, you better toss me a fucking invite and I'll fly out there.
I'm shooting for June for my birthday.
Based.
How old are you gonna be?
37, 30. I don't know.
37, 6.
It's 38. Isn't it?
I don't know. I lost track. I think 37.
Yeah. I think you got
Dude, when I turned 44, I was like, holy shit, I'm ancient now. Does this make me a graybeard? Do I get to say I'm a graybeard now? Is that how it works?
But what we like to do is we get together, and I got a Michelin star chef that likes to come out and cook, and I like to cook, and we're all punk rockers, heavy metal fans. We blast music, make incredibly gourmet meals and shit, and then just fucking party and hack and whatever.
Well, what's your policy on green hats?
Do it in the garage.
Yeah, do it in the garage. there's the place to hang out there. Yeah, man.
Excellent.
Fucking come out and do it. It'll be fun. I'll make my way up there for that in June.
Fucking
be happy.
All right. And with that, I think we should end this fucking task because I'm gonna go upstairs and do other stuff.
And do stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Also,
been good, guys. Glad I could help liven it up a tad.
I appreciate it.
I do have another topic for next week, but we could save it.
Cool.
All right. Sounds good. And with that,
Keyblade.
All right, hackers and cyber warriors, it's time to encrypt this episode and send it out into the digital ether. Thank you to Sledge, Delchi, CrowdStrong, and Altkey for another epic nerd out session. And a special thanks to our guests for joining us. And to all our listeners out there in the cyber trenches, patch fast, encrypt tight, lock down your ports, and leave no backdoor open. Hunt threats like it's open season. Keep your passwords long, your MFA enabled. Don't use SMS as a second factor. Keep your malware signatures up to date, your critical data backed up, and your network locked down like Fort Knox. Until our next PunFest, stay vigilant, stay curious, and above all, stay CounterSurveil. Whether you're pen testing networks or hardening your own defenses, Remember, in the game of cybersecurity, you're either the hunter or the hunted. So sharpen those skills, mask those IPs, and we'll see you on the dark side of the net. This is CounterSurveil, where we turn paranoia into preparation, shutting down but never logging off.
Yeehaw.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.